If you haven't seen it yet, the Chicago Bears have reversed course once again and have said that they are no longer going to build a stadium along the lakefront in the city of Chicago, but rather on the Arlington Heights parcel of land that they purchased. Let's listen to this gentleman talk about it and then come back and discuss it.
There's a lot of people out there that are very upset that the Bears announced yesterday that their sole focus for the brand new stadium is leaving the city of Chicago and going to a Chicagoland suburb, Arlington Heights. And I do understand where they're coming from with some points, but let me tell you why this is the number one option by a landslide. The main argument and the number one thing that matters, and this is throwing aside how terrible it is getting to Soldier Field, even if you take public transport, it's over a mile walk, and when it's 10 degrees outside in the middle of December, it's terrible. This is throwing aside if you drive or if you're tailgating, leaving the game, you're sitting in traffic for probably an hour and a half. The number one argument is, would you rather just have a brand new stadium and still have all those same problems that go with it, or have an entire Bears town? Because in this chunk of land that the Bears own, I'm outlining it with my finger, you could fit probably six or seven Soldier Fields. There's a metro station right there. There's going to be plenty of parking. 53 is right next to it as well. And all of this is just going to turn into a Bears district. Bears bars, official stores. They were talking about in the survey building a Chicago Bears museum there. And not even just Chicago Bears Museum, a Chicago sports museum as a whole. I do get the argument 100% for the people who live in the inner city of Chicago saying, hey, it's going to be such a pain in the ass to get out there. But I think that it is worth the train ride, worth the Uber, worth the drive out there to have an entire Bears district and make an entire day about going to the Bears game. Take the Wrigleyville bar strip, add a massive tailgating scene with it, and that's what we're looking at for Bears game days in Arlington Heights. It would be beautiful. It would be perfect. It is the right move, 1,000%. Bear down.
And I disagree completely. Listen, I understand the Chicago Bears' desire to own their own stadium. There are more and more teams, organizations these days across multiple sports that wind up owning their own stadium and therefore can control the revenue streams coming from the stadium. I get that aspect. And I understand that everybody has bitched and moaned and complained about getting to Soldier Field for a number of different events, not just the Bears games, but for concerts. My wife and daughters have experienced it, going to like One Direction concerts and shit like that back in the day. I get it. I understand. Here's where I come from. It's nice to have the big open complex and plenty of parking and state-of-the-art everything, yada, 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 yada. The one thing that you will not have in Arlington Heights that is part of what the Chicago Bears are, in my opinion, is the lakefront in the city. Chicago Bears football is meant to be played outdoors along the lakefront, in the elements, in the swirling wind. Build a dome along the lakefront with a retractable roof that you can open up for football games and closed for conventions and concerts and things of that nature, soccer games or whatever the case may be. I know they're going to build it in Arlington Heights, and it is the absolute wrong move, in my opinion. It's going to give them all of the things that the ownership wants. It's going to give them the big state-of-the-art stadium, which they could also have in the city, but it's going to give them the additional parking, the ownership of the stadium, because if the new stadium gets built in the city, chances are that it's still going to be owned by the Park District. It gives them all of those extra stores and shops and Bear Town and whatever. It takes it out of the city of Chicago. It takes it away from the lakefront. It takes the backdrop of the city behind them. And then it's no longer Bears football to me. It's just my take. If the Bears do this, they sold out to the corporate gods and they're no longer the Chicago Bears. And they're going to keep being called the Chicago Bears because plenty of teams don't play in the officials. Dallas doesn't play. The Cowboys don't play in Dallas. The Jets and the Giants don't play in New York. You know, I get that they could still be the Chicago Bears and being Arlington Heights. They shouldn't be called the Chicago Bears anymore because they won't be.